Donald Trump has released a 5-minute campaign video where he finally started talking about some policies he's going to enact if he gets a second term in the White House, and they are truly horrifying. Specifically, what Donald Trump talked about in that 5-minute video is using the federal government to punish your children. He was talking about crime, of course, because according to Donald Trump, hell, according to most Republicans, crime in the United States is absolutely out of control. Like, if you step foot out of your house, according to Republicans, there's a good chance you're just going to immediately get robbed and then get killed. Maybe not even in that order. But it is also funny because we heard about these massive crime waves across the nation pretty much up until November 8th of last year when the midterms happened. Then suddenly that crime wave, the migrant caravan that Fox News was talking about, all of that disappeared. Like, isn't that amazing? Crime in America dried up the day after the midterms in November. Nobody was talking about it anymore. That's so crazy. But Trump's back out there trying to revive it because he thinks it's good for Republicans, even though statistics show that that's not true. Like, there is not an increase in crime. We're still below the crime levels of the 1990s. So, yeah, you have incidents of crime all throughout this country. You always have. But is there an epidemic? No. And the statistics prove there's not an epidemic. So, Trump disciplining your children with the federal government, possibly including the National Guard. Let me read you what he said. We will end the leftist takeover of school discipline and juvenile justice. Many of these carjackers and criminals are 13, 14, and 15 years old. I will order the Education and Justice Departments to overhaul federal standards on disciplining minors, so when troubled youth are out of control, they're out on the streets and they're going wild, we will stop it. The consequences are swift, certain, and strong, and they will know that. I will not hesitate to send in federal assets, including the National Guard, until safety is restored. So you're going to take a 13-year-old kid. I mean, literally, you said you'd take a 13-year-old kid that maybe steals a car. And you're going to send in the National Guard to do what exactly? To implement lockdowns because a 13-year-old kid, 14-year-old kid, 15-year-old kid stole a car? You admit that these are troubled youth. Like, you call them troubled youth. And yeah, we do have troubled youth here in the United States. Children in areas of this country that may not see a path forward for them because their socioeconomic status doesn't allow for forward or upward mobility for them. So instead of offering these kids something better, instead of overhauling the juvenile justice system and the education department, as you said, instead of doing that to show these kids that there is a better path, that you don't have to go through these things, that you can escape, and we're going to give you the tools to do it. We're going to give you the financing to do it. Instead of doing that, you say we're going to throw your ass in jail at 13 years old. We're going to bring the hammer down on you, and hopefully you spend the rest of your life behind bars. Is that what you want, folks? Is that the kind of country you want to live in? You want to live in an area where a 13-year-old who makes a stupid mistake as a teenager can't escape that life anymore because of Donald Trump's policies? Or do you want to live in a country that sees a 13-year-old who's at risk and takes that 13-year-old instead and says, hey, listen, man, talk to me. You think you don't have a way out, but you do. Look at all these scholarships available to get you into college. Look at these grants. Look at these brochures. Look at these after-school clubs. You can meet new people. You can experience new things. You can learn new things. Maybe you just haven't found a skill you're good at yet, but don't worry. I'm going to work with you and we're going to get you to that point. Maybe college isn't for you. Maybe you're just a whiz at fixing cars. Maybe you know everything about construction and you don't even know that yet because you haven't been given those opportunities, but by God, we're going to give you the opportunities. That's what I want to hear from a presidential candidate. Not that you're going to take these kids who, are stupid. They're not thinking about the rest of their lives. I wasn't thinking about the rest of my life at 13, I'll tell you that. But you're going to take them and ruin their lives. Put them in this endless cycle of incarceration because you're going to pull them out of school to throw them in jail, take away any opportunity that might lie before them because you want to be tough on crime, Donald Trump. You're going to destroy millions of lives. I want somebody that actually cares. I want somebody that gives a damn instead of somebody who wants to throw a 13-year-old kid in jail to score some political points. Hi, everyone. This here is little Athena. And Athena would like to know why you haven't subscribed to Fair and Balanced yet. So please, don't let Athena down. Subscribe today.